Back in 2012 I was a manager at a moving warehouse for an Air Force base, and was the only person in the warehouse who was certified on a forklift. Unfortunately, the second I was hired I had to tag the forklift out because there wasn't enough room to safely maneuver it due to the owner taking on far too many jobs and filling the warehouse well past its capacity. Unfortunately, the owner took the "do not use" sign on the forklift as more of a suggestion, and the lack of certification of the rest of the staff as a minor detail, and instructed one of the crew to take the key off of my keychain and use the forklift to move a set of crates onto a long-haul truck in the loading bay. Now, one of the things they teach you when you're getting certified on heavy equipment is that you never drive around with the forks up unless you're actively loading or unloading. You pick up, move enough to clear your forks, and bring them down to ground level as soon as possible, and only raise them up again if you're getting ready to stack the load onto something else. The owner did not know this and, congratulating herself on her ingenuity, told the crew member to simply put the forks above the level of the stacked crates in order to be able to maneuver around. I arrived half an hour later to be greeted by a very sheepish crewman showing me a crate marked with fragile and contents valuable tags that was half off the forks, 15 feet up, leaning against the upper part of a warehouse divider so precariously that any attempt to move the forklift would send it tumbling to the ground. This was not the big mess up. I asked the crew to use a pallet jack to bring me a set of empty shipping crates, cleared the area, and arranged the crates onto the forks as a way to hopefully reduce the impact. Then I started up the forklift, dropped the forks, and attempted to guide the crate down as gently as I could, only to discover that the empty crates I had been brought were actually full of a different family's belongings, with no way to tell what was what after both crates cracked and their contents spilled out across the floor. This was also not the big mess up. After all of this was over, and I had thoroughly dressed down everyone involved, I again turned off and tagged out the forklift, cleaned up the area, and went to the office to call the families whose belongings had been intermingled and apologize for the mishap. As soon as the second call had been made, I heard the forklift turning on. Stupid me, I tagged it out but didn't take the key out of the ignition. Ready to rain down hellfire, I ran back into the warehouse and discovered the owner attempting to drive the forklift back to its bay, with the forks up as high as they would go. I tried shouting at her to put the damn forks down, but she couldn't understand what I was saying and tried to mouth something to the effect of "I'm just putting it back" when she collided with the same damn divider. Bricks tumbled, the forklift tilted, and I narrowly avoided getting concussed by a crate as it fell over. Panicking, the owner put the forklift in reverse and promptly crashed into the loading door, jamming it shut and crippling the only loading dock that wasn't blocked by stored shipping crates or airmen's belongings. Combined with the discovery of a crew being sent out on a night pickup with a truck that didn't have working lights, which happened the same day, this was enough to send me over the edge.